Hello and welcome to Dice Friends!
Dice Friends?
Is no one else
Dice
doing
Friends.
this anymore? Dice Friends!
Dice Friends!
Yes. Very important to get the arms up there. It is a happy evening for me because I am back on Dice Friends. Hello, my name is Jer. I'm your one night only dungeon master for the evening, and I am super excited to be joined by my three awesome friends. Down on this side, we have
Corey!
And under here we have
Surge. Hello.
And over here,
Matt.
amazing. And today I am going to be trying to run for you folks a night at the Golden Duck. So I don't do Dice Friends very often. I try and use this as an opportunity to show off some of the cool independent RPG stuff that I think is really neat, and call it out. And this is like a little zine. It is a very zine. It's in the full on like cut up form with awesome artwork. You'll see a little bit more of this in a bit. This one is particularly cool for a couple of reasons. One, you can't get it in digital form at all. You have to order it from England. And then two, so if you were going to cheat using the chat by trying to give these guys clues, it'll take you a while to get it. The other thing though is that it unfolds completely into like the map. So that's quite cool. And now I'm going to fail to put this back together for the rest of the adventure and be like, doing this to try and find the
Just leave it
information
open. Just leave it open. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to run this. It's been something that I've been holding on to for a while, and it's the Golden Duck. It's super my jam. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a really fun time. So let's meet our characters and figure out what you folks are going to be up to. So the three of you, I believe, you are on your way to do a quest already when we begin. So we have our three adventurers going from somewhere, working for someone. Why don't you introduce yourselves and maybe talk about what you're up to right now, where we find you on the road, starting maybe over here with Corey.
All right. So I'm Corey playing Quaqueo the Discerning, a gecko magic user. Off on a whirlwind adventure to learn more magic spells and get really wealthy. I'm probably driving our wagon with our two draft horses.
Ooh, two draft horses. Do they
Yeah.
have names?
Staples
Uh-huh.
and Thumb.
Staples. Ooh. Auspicious name pair. Staples and Thumb. Perfect.
I love it.
Cody
Roughly
doesn't
how
even have
large are you as a
thumbs.
gecko, out of curiosity?
Exactly 6 feet tall. Very proud of that.
Like you've got precision. It's almost like you practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, awesome robes and whatnot. That looks really good. Serge, why don't you tell us about your character?
I am playing Valen. I am a bipedal hare. I'm also 6 feet tall, but that includes ear, and I'm a lot of ear. It's, like proportion-wise, I'm quite short. I'm a cleric, and I come to teach you the ways of the light. There's too much darkness. There's darkness everywhere. But if we embrace the light shall come and dispel the darkness, and then we will all know the light.
So Van, you worship the non-specific light. Are there any like specific rituals or anything that these folks would have seen you doing in your adventures together so far?
I try and get up at dawn. The actual worshipping of the sunrise is very important because, that's when it all starts. And I shed one tear most nights when the sun sets. But it's just resting, but that's okay because we know the sun will be back in the morning because the sun will be there. The light will be there to dispel the darkness. And I like collecting treasure. We work for the collector. You know, it sounds evil. It's totally not evil. You know, people collect things, and this is an opportunity to raise some money so I can do some good and teach more people about the light. I mean, I grew up in this rabbit hole, and it was very dark down there, and my people are just too used to the darkness. So I figure if I get enough money, I can bring light everywhere. So I'm gonna get some bank, but I'm gonna do it for good stuff. You know.
Yeah, you work for the I'll let you tell me a little bit more about the collectors. I appreciate your faith that the sun will always come up the next day too. That's cute. So Matt, why don't you tell us about your character?
Hello, yes, I am Matt, and I'm playing Delita Charlie.
Thank you. That is going to kill your voice.
That's why I'm not going to do it very often.
Every time,
really
commit to the bit, Matt.
That's the voice now. That's the voice now.
Delita is very committed to the bits and pieces of treasure that he can collect on the road here for the collectors, but also for himself. He is not 6 feet tall.
I'm shocked.
How tall is Usagi Tsukino? Is it like 5'2"?
Let's say yes.
Yes.
5'2". Delita is small. Delita's a very fancy, colorful bird, but small
Like,
in terms of human scale.
Are you hanging out on the cart with me, the wagon? Or are you like checking under every rock on the roadside just for shinies?
On top of the wagon, every once in a while, taking breaks of course, but every once in a while just flying above for a bit.
Oh, you can fly too.
Not very well. Kind of, not very well. But just for a bit. I'll do like a minute of circling around, come back, land, and I need like half an hour of a break.
So it's not like a child Supermaning off of the top of the wagon. You're just like, I hold my arms out and I'm flying.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, just doing this. Like, this isn't flying, Delita. You're just doing arm swishes.
Yeah, I'm not doing a Titanic.
I imagine you had a lot of good discussions maybe with siblings about that. Like, that's not it's not real flying.
You're gliding, Sybil. Get real.
Cool. I should mention as well. You're looking for treasure. A lot of you have said that you're looking for treasure. The collectors are looking for treasure. That's important because you are playing in a game world powered by the great engine of basic Dungeons and Dragons.
Long may she reign.
Yeah.
Now, something that always confused me about basic D&D because I grew up playing like 2nd edition, is I would open up these adventures and it would be like, well, yeah, obviously the characters are going to whatever sort of super lethal place, the Temple of Elemental Evil or the Tomb of Horrors or whatever, looking for treasure. And I'd be like, who in their right mind would but what I didn't realize is that there's like a systemic reason for everyone to want treasure in early D&D, and that is that your XP total is like the sum total of all the GP that you have collected over the course of your adventuring. So if you collect 1,000 GP, you get 1,000 XP, and if you then spend that 1,000 GP, you still have the 1,000 XP. And if you get 500 more GP, you get 500 more XP. So everyone always wants gold. And if you can get a lot of gold without working hard for it, that's great, because you could like gain a couple levels off that, and not actually have to go through very much danger. So,
Kill people.
I like
So,
that
yes.
every container and other item vehicle lists how much gold it can carry.
yeah,
I didn't realize that. That's kind of terrifying and kind of fascinating.
It's kind of amazing, but it gives a rationale behind everything in the system, because like suddenly, you just have a motivation to go out and do stuff because you actually get 0 XP, or else very small amounts of XP, depending on like the exact system that you're playing, for fighting or accomplishing story goals. It's all about making money, which leads to some really cool gameplay because it means that you're incentivized to try and avoid the fights, and do sneaky things to get the treasure without fighting. So for the purposes of tonight's game, we're going to be using Old School Essentials as a reference work. This is what you call a retro clone. It's a restatement of all the rules in this box and the boxes that came after it in a much more readable form. So if we're like looking stuff up, we'll be using that book.
I like
Okay,
that dwarf was a class.
Yeah.
Just to sort of date what we're doing here. That's a
Yeah.
class, right?
Yep.
Elf
Well, and-
class.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt's character is also a class that we kind of made up, because one of the nice things about this stuff being really simple is that it's pretty easy to hack it, which is fun as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the collectors and your patron. So you're on your way. Presumably, you are 3rd to 4th level. You have been adventuring for a while, and you've probably seen your fair share of 1st level characters die at this point on your travels. You've had various party formations. Many of your cohorts have been plastered across various rooms in various ways by insidious traps and monsters. So you've seen quite a bit of action, and you've established yourselves as adventurers. And I believe you said you were part of this guild called the Collectors.
Yeah.
What else can you tell me about your patron and what you might be off to do right now?
I believe that our patron, or at least our manager, I think, it may have been the full patriarch of the Collectors, is, I believe, Jules Goldsacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to. You need to start with the image of what this man looks like,
Yeah.
and that is the Monopoly Man.
Oh, I was just gonna be like, so he's short, he's well dressed, he's bald, he's got a mustache.
So he's like 4
Very
feet tall.
wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his defining characteristic, other than being short, is just a colossal amount of wealth. And that must mean he's like level 1,000 or something. If wealth equates to experience or something here, I can't even fathom how powerful this man is. Maybe he's a dragon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We should start
I'm not.
just buying property and
Yeah. I don't want to endow this character with anything, but he's totally a dragon. And created an organization called the Collectors, and in any good fantasy setting, it's an adventurers guild of some repute. People are free to join it, and different backgrounds, different stuff like that. They post jobs. Occasionally, they'll select people to do jobs, and we have been assembled to do our goal of collecting wealth on someone else's behalf.
Yeah.
Right. So we're assuming that you are on your way right now, in the process of starting, or about to start, a much more exciting adventure than this one. You've got you've got orders in hand from Gold Sacks Man, and are ready to go on a really great heroic quest of some description. I don't know how heroic you are. But so maybe I'm putting actions in your bodies. That's weird. But
What?
you can choose to be heroic or not. But you're on your way to do some much more important quest. But it's a couple days journey, and it's gotten very dark and cold and windy and rainy, much like it has been out there for most of the week. You can imagine the opening music from Link to the Past playing in the background, and some really tinny thunder and lightning going. And actually big, yeah,
Whoa.
big. Oh, nice, terrifying. So a lot of rain and nasty weather and big forks of lightning coming down from the sky as you trudge through what's becoming what is sort of like a normally like a dusty road, but it's becoming kind of murky and swampy over multiple days of rain and wet. There's a danger that you could get mired somewhere. Hopefully you don't get mired tonight. I don't know how much camping gear you brought with you, but maybe it seems like we might have to find a tree or something. But then big crash of lightning, and you see in front of you what looks like it is actually sort of a tree, a very, very large tree, that has been converted into a building. It has windows all over it. It has a chimney sticking out the top of it. It looks like it could actually accommodate like lots of U-sized people in a couple of different stories. And there's a sign out front of it with a picture of a duck. And your adventurer's instincts tell you that this is probably an inn.
Looks just like home. Just like home.
There's that and like the roadsides every mile leading up to this point. Just like facilities. Stuff.
Praise the light. Salvation from the storm.
So coming up to the doorway, you get up to it and it does look a little rickety. The wind is causing the branches to move a little bit, and you hear some creaking sounds as the tree kind of flexes. But there's light inside and warmth coming from there. And there's a big rickety looking door in front of you. And presuming one of you knocks on the door, go ahead.
Hey, Balin, go get us a good deal.
Absolutely. Keep the horses calm. Hopefully they don't get spooked by all this thunder and lightning. All right. It's an inn. Do I walk in, or is the courtesy here to like knock and wait for somebody? Like, is this the public thing or the one where a person answers the door and lets us in?
I think that is potentially going to change depending on the inn. This is not like a public house. It doesn't seem like it's like a bar.
Okay.
So maybe you want to knock, but up to you.
I'm going to knock as hard as I can for a strength 7 rabbit to try and make sure they can hear me over the storm. But I don't know how well that's going to go because I have strength of 7.
You're not the weakest one here.
Okay, so you knock on the door.
Yeah. Hello?
More rain, more thunder and lightning.
Goodness sakes. Just go in!
I'm going to try one more time. Knock, 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 knock.
Okay. After a second, you hear something moving inside, and the door opens. And inside is a 6-foot tall beetle. So it's standing on its hind legs and has hind legs, has 2 other sets of legs and sort of like big pinchers coming down, and it's also wearing an apron, and it says, "Oh, hello, oh dear, look at you, oh no, oh look at that horrible weather, oh my dears, come inside, oh welcome, please, let's get those cloaks off here, you can hang those up over there, oh dear, look at this weather, oh my goodness, oh, how can we help?"
This is awfully hospitable of you. What may I call you, kind beetle?
Oh, Miss Trix. You can call me Miss Trix.
Hello, Miss Trix. Is there a place for our horses as well? Poor Staples and Thumb could use some shelter from the rain.
Oh dear, well we don't have a stable, but I might have a tarp in the back. Why don't you come in, get yourselves out of the cold, and I will find you a tarp and you can set it up. There's a post over that way that you can tie your horses to, and you can set up a tent for them. Maybe I can find you some oats. Come in.
I'll shout back. Yeah, looks like it's friendly.
Yep.
They're going to make a tent for the horses.
Oh, you're going to make a tent for the horses, dear.
We're going to make a tent for the horses.
Yes, come in. So she gestures for you to come into the room. It's a round room, as is appropriate for a tree. There's a fireplace right in the middle of the room, and sort of a common area off to the left as you walk in. And then on the side of to either side of the fireplace, there's sort of half walls, basically like a bar and a counter that extend around an open kitchen. and then some rooms there's some doors that open off the kitchen and block off certain parts of the tree.
And it's only
she
one level on the inside, or two? Like,
it's multiple levels. It's at least 2 floors from looking at it on the outside, but possibly 3. It's the tree is pretty tall.
Cool.
And so yeah, she. Mm-hmm. So she gestures for you to come in and hang up your cloaks. Those of you who are not going to be dealing with the horses, she does go and find a big tarp and some tent pegs that and some 10-foot poles or whatnot. Those are a thing. There's 10-foot poles everywhere in D&D. So she brings out yeah. So the things that you would need to construct sort of a lean-to shelter for the horses, kind of up against the side of the tree. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. Yeah. And you can see as you come in and kind of get settled that there are a few other folks who are hanging out inside this place as well. And she's going to, as you start getting settled, insist on taking you around to all of them and introducing you to them. Oh yes, let me introduce you. Let me show you these. We've got some regulars and some stopovers. It's always at the Golden Duck. You never know who you're going to meet. So let me introduce you. This over here is Armstrong. Arm long, arm strong. And so this gentleman is, as you can see, he is bald. He has one incredibly long arm that reaches right to the floor. He's sitting by the fire, looking into it in a sort of miserable, contemplative way. And as you approach, he looks up and he says, "Wonderful night we're having in a yes."
Luckily,
wonderful night.
Luckily, the light will come again tomorrow and dispel it.
Yes, best you got in out of the rain and cold before you got taken by some brigand, some smuggler, some 5 and dime con artist.
Is that a common problem in these parts?
Oh, these parts are filled with knaves and thieves, tramjackers and solicitors, burlesque girls. The sins that people get up to in these parts are truly scandalous.
Sounds fun.
You have no idea, because they all deserve a fate worse than death. Most of them only get death, but worse than death. Some of them can be locked up, some of them can be tortured, but some of them, he looks at his arm. I must meditate on this. It's a pleasure to meet you. Long Armstrong.
I will offer my hand to their other hand. Valen, Shepherd of the Light.
Sorry, you're offering your hand to the arm, the big long arm, or the other arm?
I imagine they shake hands with their dominant arm, so I'm going to reach towards the long arm.
Okay, yes. He will shake your hand.
Nice to meet you.
It's good to see a few more law-abiding citizens. If that's indeed what you are. Oh, yes, and this! Oh, yes, you must meet Chaffink! Chaffink, come meet these new guests! So, Chaffink is Chaffink is wearing all black, black cape, black hat, black mask, black trousers, black boots. And they say, "Hello! I am called Chaffink the Thief, but I implore you not to judge me ill. I was cursed from birth with a medium flaw, which makes me steal from those I meet. However, the act once completed, I amend in equal wise." And he hands back your holy symbol, Valen. I apologize. It is thus I always introduce myself as Chaffik the thief. So those who might know me shall.
I'm going to very quickly just do a quick pat down and check if there's anything else that's missing. Anything else missing? Like my gold pouch or things?
Gold pouch is accounted for. You know, on a quick scan, everything seems to be there. I see.
You're good.
I see.
You're good. I've worked with a couple of your type, and you're a good one.
Oh, you are an individual of rare perception. Yes. I do attempt to impress with my ways. Thank you. It is a pleasure to meet you. Oh yes, and of course you'll want to meet Dr. Rock. And
you want to pronounce that one again there?
Dr. Rock. Yes, pleased to meet you. Now she hops over to you and she is looking at you out of one eye on the side, and then will occasionally swap over to the other eye. Ah, yes! Some rare specimens! Welcome! Pleased to meet you. Oh, yes. I, as you may be aware, am a famous psychotherapist. Are you aware of the practice? It is a rather new thing, I am afraid. Just one moment. You, lizard. Yes. You look like you require analysis. 3 taps. She holds up her doctor's stick, which is sort of a baton, and she goes to hit you with it. Are you going to take this hit? She doesn't look like she's going to hit you hard. Are you going to take this hit, or are you going to stop it?
Like, I'm sad and wet and cold. Yes, this won't make anything any worse.
3 taps! Yes! 3 taps for analysis. It appears that your mother... Oh, yes, you carry so much resentment. Oh, poor girl. Oh, my goodness. Now I don't know if either of you are aware of the mediocrities this one carries about with her in her life, but she, oh my goodness, all of her faults stem from these things. I must get you onto my couch at some point. I can analyze you and help fix all of your problems. Dr. Rock, sorry, I know that their voices are kind of the same. This is Miss Trix again. Dr. Rock is a famous doctor and psychotherapist, so she is well versed in how to diagnose and treat diseases of all kinds.
Oh, Dr. Rock! I heard of you back from my hometown of Cardiff.
Yes! Always excellent to see another bird climbing up to a seat of grandeur and an exquisite coat you have there.
Any means necessary.
I can see how you would use it to compensate for the poor relationship that you had with your best friends as you were a child growing up in the nest. You must have been severely damaged when they knocked you out of the nest when you learned to fly. Do you have nightmares of your mother circling above you?
You're saying she gave me a disease?
Oh, yes. Yes, we are all diseased. Many. I perceive much sickness in you. No, silly thing. It is not contagious. Well, not with proper analysis. I should get you onto a couch sometime. I will solve all of your problems. Oh, let me introduce you finally to Pierre. Oh, yes, hello. Bonjour. My name is Pierre. I am traveling in hopes of recruiting people for a noble cause to help me overthrow the evil villain, Grand Jacques. You look like people of fortitude, and I'm hoping that maybe you can regale me with tales of your adventures so that they can bring honor to the Queen of the Apes. And he picks up his locket and kisses it. It has a picture of another ape on it.
Delita is just eyeing that locket. Does it look particularly valuable?
Yeah, I mean, like, it looks like it has some value for sure. He kind of wears it like a medal on his lapel. And yeah, it looks like it's definitely shiny. It's probably worth double digits of gold pieces. Potentially more to a collector who is interested in the Queen of the Apes and the various political machinations of the apes and various primate creatures that have been ongoing, as you know, for the last several decades.
As we know, yeah.
How large is an ape? Like, is this a gorilla? Is this thing like 10 feet tall, or is it?
Yeah. He's like bigger, definitely much bigger than you and burlier. He's got a large looking rapier on his side, which if he sees you looking at it, he will pick up, or he will draw and move from arm to arm to foot to foot.
Ooh, foot style.
Say, you have noticed my sword. You will see, if you would care to fight, you will see that I am a duelist, in that I believe in a strict separation of the mind and body, which are always fighting each other. Oh me, oh my. The mind is a small homunculus that drives the body in all of his vices.
The spiritual duelist, not to be confused.
And also
with the
a duelist. I am a duelist. I will fight you to the first wound. Ha ha!
Oh, it's both. Very good. Well met, Pierre.
Oui. Bon.
Bon, bon, bon.
Oh, well, I hope you've all gotten settled now. My goodness, what a night it is. I'm glad that the horses are all set up. Why don't we get everyone sat down and I can serve some dinner?
Yeah, please. The fire, please. We're cold and wet.
Yes. Well, here, you get those coats. You get those cloaks off. You put them over there. Take off those boots. Put them near the fire, and we will get the table put together. And she Miss Trix recruits some of the various NPCs and has them help her put a table together right next to the fire, assembled out of some other ones.
It's interesting that the other people here help work. What a communal space they've created.
Yeah. Very cozy.
Something that seems like not something that Mr. Gold Sacks Man would be into. There'd be a mercenary arrangement there, but everyone here seems really warm and charitable. That's the impression that you get for sure. So a large table is constructed out of various other tables and boards and things like that in front of the fire. And unless you object, Miss Trix is going to insist on seating you, alternating with some of the people that you've just met. So she's going to split up your group around the table to ensure everyone gets to know one another. And she's going to go and she's going to bring out some yummy dinner, some stuffed aphid steaks, and start making sure that everyone has some food in front of them, and try and spark conversation. So, I suppose you're all wondering about why this place is called the Golden Duck. Well, let me tell you, it is quite the story. Long ago, the beautiful Princess Blanche fled the court of air. She had been betrothed to Boreas, the cold north wind. So she picked up her closest treasures. Oh, here you are, dear, yes. And have
Thank
some
you.
soup.
Thank
She
you.
picked up her closest treasures, of which the greatest was Le Canot d'Or, and escaped. Yes, here's another tray. Good, yes, this one's for you. She came here in disguise and worked as a serving girl, serving these very tables. Le Roi d'Oiseau, the king of the birds, who you may be familiar with, sent his raptor knights to search for the princess. Some cutlery and oh, here's some salt. And she takes out a large salt cellar, which is distinctively shaped like a duck, and places it in the middle of the table.
Hold on. When you pour, does the salt come out of the mouth?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Or the other.
One came here, the Chevalier de Grief, and as soon as he saw the serving girl, he suspected her. He asked if she would like to come away and marry a prince. She said, "Would I? I'll go right now." Oh yes, honey stuffed aphid dears. Here, let me. There's some for you, and some for you. We grow the aphids on this very tree. They are fully organic. And I have a few extra behind the bar if you find yourself hungry.
So what happened? Did she go and marry a prince?
He laughed, and she laughed and said she was only joking, but still he suspected. Oh, here, have a fungus muffin, dear. You look like you're still hungry. Oh, would you like some fungus too? Oh, of course. He offered a toast. Down with Le Roi d'Oiseau. At this point, Pierre is going to go, Le Roi! Down with Le Roi d'Oiseau. And she threw soup in his face and called him a traitorous scub. But still, he suspected. She was putting up a good act, you see, dear. But he was a smart bird, that one. Then he said, "This soup is wrongly spiced. You have used cardamom, not coriander." And she leaned down to taste a spoonful. Oh, here, have some gravy on that, dear. Yes, some gravy. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dr. Rock. I did not mean to spill that. Oh, here, let me get you a towel. She dodders off to the kitchen for a minute and comes back. Okay, you have some gravy too, dear. She pours gravy out of a big, heavy gravy boat onto all of the plates.
Thank you.
How is the food?
If you're into aphids and fungus muffins and such things, it's delicious.
I mean, look at the crowd here. We are a group of people that have eaten an insect or a fungus or two in our day. I mean,
I think you're into this. I think it's good.
Heck yeah.
This entire time, Delita is non-verbally flirting with Dr. Rogue. And, Delita takes the napkin handed by the barkeep person and, helps Dr. Rogue with the gravy.
Yeah. Oh, here. Just a little dab.
Little pecks.
Yeah. I'm mostly leaned back, trying to remain unnoticed for the most part, although it's a little difficult.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miss Trix is very into getting you to get to know each other, and if you persist in doing stuff like that, she'll start trying to start up conversations with you, start talking about the local jousting matches and ask you if you've heard anything about them, and maybe say, and even if you express complete disinterest, then say something like, "Oh well, Pierre is very interested in jousting. Maybe the two of you could have a discussion." So at some point, though, she gets back to her story. So she leaned down to taste a spoonful, and he grabbed her and said, "You are La Princesse Blanche." For she could not hide her subtle tongue, and no mere serving girl would know the taste of those two spices. And he flew away with her, and she was married to the cold north wind. And it is her keening you hear when that wind moans. And the wind makes a particularly ominous moan as the tree shakes, and there's lightning outside. But of the treasure she escaped with, and which she hid in this very stump, one was La Cano d'Or, the golden duck, and it has never been found.
Wait, hold on.
And she slams the tray down on the table to make a loud, dramatic noise as more thunder and lightning come in from the outside.
See, that's how you get the people to come back with a performance like that.
So the golden duck is named after an actual mysterious golden duck that's hidden somewhere within the inn? How old
So
is
they
the story?
say, dear.
How old is the story?
This story dates back ages, through multiple generations of my family.
And no one has found the golden duck in all of that time?
No, dear, no. The inn has been passed down from mother to son to daughter to mother to son to brother sometimes or sister, depending on the generation. But it has been passed down multiple times, and no one has ever found the mysterious Cano d'Or.
I do a little knowing glance at my coworkers. Mysterious treasure that no one has found.
Treasure!
So, hypothetically here, apropos of nothing, if someone were to find this golden duck, what would, finders keepers? What are the rules here?
Armlong Armstrong is going to pipe up at this, and he says, "Only if you are a thief or a brigand. The duck is the property of the inn, obviously, and anyone who would take it should be locked away and thrown into a pit."
Yes. Death
So
worse
deep.
like a sinner. Yes. I was paying attention before, Armlong. Not to cut you off. I understand your position. Brigands, harlots, charlatans. Yes, very good. Worse than death.
Who should die in jail.
Does the duck belong to the inn because it's called the Golden Duck? Because that's also my middle name.
The Golden Duck is your middle name?
Yes!
Wow, how auspicious, my dear. Welcome. Consider this to be a house like your house, except where you pay to stay here.
Right, Valen, you were supposed to get us a good deal.
How much is the room for the night? We never really had a chance to negotiate. You kind of just brought us down to the table and started telling us the story.
Well, you looked so needy, dear. She names a price which seems reasonable.
Could you go reasonable but cheaper, winky face?
I'm sure we could work something out, my dear, but after you have breakfast, I think you'll want to pay the full amount.
Excellent. All right, I've done my role as negotiator.
Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, Miss Strix, when the princess was staying here, did she live here? Did she live nearby?
She stayed in one of the rooms upstairs. Some of the rooms upstairs all of the rooms upstairs belong to my children.
Oh.
But my children have long since left the nest, so now they are rented out to travelers like yourself or staff members at the times when I have them.
You might not know this, but we are part of the world-famous collectors, specialists in finding rare goods, and should you be interested in our services, maybe we could find this golden duck and we could waive the fees entirely.
Oh dear, it may just be a legend. Many have searched for the golden duck. None has succeeded in finding it.
Yes, but have you ever tried the collectors?
No, dear, I'm not aware of that organization, but I'm sure it's very nice. Chaffinch from across the table is like, I tried to join the collectors years ago, and they would not have me. I don't know what it was, but the gravy boat. I don't know what it was, but they said that I didn't meet the qualifications. I would be interested in a referral.
At the end of the day, Mr. Goldsacks expects the treasure delivered, which may have been a little bit tough with your disposition, but we can see. We'll talk. We'll see if we can find this golden duck.
I've got my eye on you, Chaffinch. Pray I don't have my arm on you next. I have rooms ready for tonight. So I'll be putting you in alternating rooms, just like our seating. Just so everyone, if you get up in the night to use the little bird's room or branch as it is, that you can socialize a little bit. The rooms upstairs are marked. Quiqueo, you are in.
It's Quaqueo.
Quaqueo.
Yeah, Quaqueo, Golden Duck, the Discerning.
Quaqueo, Golden Duck, the Discerning. That is quite the name, dear. My goodness. You are going to be in Nikita's room, and we will put Pierre in Orblon's room. And we will put Valen in Akito's room. And Dr. Roke, you can go in the Philomena's room. And Delita, you can go in Sally's room. Chaffinch, you are going to be on the next floor in Gwen's room. Armlong, you can be in Cooper's room. And I will be sleeping in my own room, obviously.
And out of curiosity, how many other rooms are there?
Well, dear, we can accommodate quite large parties. If you are in the area and you have a large group, we can arrange a convention rate. This is something that we have put together in the past for people who are interested in the Golden Duck. Potentially, they want a good aphid and they have a hard time getting one. So, in addition to these rooms, we have 6 others that can be arranged for further guests.
I had to write everything down there. All right, my notes are all caught up. It's a lot of information. Were all the rooms named after your children?
Room?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Corey.
Sorry, the last one I missed.
Oh, Cooper, I believe, was Armlong.
Yeah,
Armlong.
And what are these rooms named after? Are these your children?
Yes, these are my children. Yes, they have gone off into the world. That's what the best thing that a parent could ask for is for them to go out into the world and try and do good. Unfortunately, Nikita found some trouble. Nikita is in jail for aggravated arson. So there are a few problems with poor Nikita, but the children have done good, I think, in general.
Empty nest.
Dr. Roke at this point says, I propose a game. Let us play a game.
Ooh, a game.
And goes to set up some cards at a table off to the side.
I'm joining.
Okay.
Hey, Quaqueo.
Yes?
Do we look for this treasure? How invested
Oh,
are you
100%, yes.
in finding this golden duck? Should we take a bit of time, talk to the guests who've been here before, figure out some more information, or should we just start walking around and looking at the rooms? We have
Well-
an invitation to play this game.
Miss Trix might know more than she's letting on. But perhaps the game would be a good way to gather information from the other guests.
I'll play your game,
Oh,
fine doctor.
Oh, good. Yes, good to have some fresh new players to play with. Haha. So Dr. Roke starts dealing out some cards and playing a game of the realm, and
Cribbage.
I think it's a little bit more gambly than cribbage.
Okay, okay.
And Dr. Roke plays very seriously. You noticed when Dr. Roke went over to her things that she had a very interesting looking case, like a leather case with clasps on the top of it that she sort of kicks under the desk, or sorry, not kicks under her chair as she goes to get the game pieces out. And she starts dealing out the cards and just starts asking you a ton of questions about the collectors and Dr. and Mr. Gold Sachs. Wants to know the power structure and the information hierarchy, how messages are sent in the organization, your general contact.
Sure, I'm happy to answer all of this. So typically,
Okay.
we're a free organization. Mr. Goldsacks runs everything as the president. It's fairly flat other than that. For communication, there's just a quest board that's put up there. We turn most messages into, there's a manager. You know, we hand them the quest. They pay us out afterwards, and we also hand in things there. Most of us are like free agents or contractors. It's, you know, it's a pretty good gig. We can come and go at any time we want to. And yeah, it's a pretty good gig. You know, we lost quite a few friends along the way, but such is the life of an adventurer. Praise the light. May their souls forever be in the light and not in darkness, you know, as we say.
Yes. The religion, the substitution of the father figure by some ooby-dooby mystical force of great power and esteem. Watch out for this one. He will always let you down.
I see there's some darkness in your heart, and that's okay. That's okay. There's darkness in all of us, and maybe one day the light will come and cast it away. Cast it away.
Dr. Rowe keeps on trying to smoke a pipe, but holding the pipe in his beak is really difficult, and he keeps spilling ashes on his feathers and having to wipe them off. Sorry, she keeps on spilling ashes on her feathers and having to wipe them off.
Delita is immediately trying to help out with that, because they're both birds. They both know the whole deal with how hard it can be.
Oh, yes.
Claws.
Claws and smoking with a pipe, with a beak. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I had someone help me clean my feathers.
Yeah, they're just preening each other now.
While this is going on, I wanted to talk to Miss Trix on the side to
Sure.
dig for more information, because I love the story so much. Is my room, Nikita's room, is that the one that the princess stayed in, Blanche?
Oh, no. The princess stayed... Well, actually, it's been so long, I'm not entirely sure which room that she stayed in. It might have been Baron's room, but... Actually, Gavin's room always had sort of a smell to it, a smell of fresh air. That sort of thing you might get from someone from the realm of air. But I never know. It may have been the brave chevalier who stayed there instead. Some dried aphid chips, my dear.
Oh, thank you. And do the rooms change names every generation of Trix's beetles? Is Trix your married name?
Oh well, we don't do that in Beetle Society, dear. It's customary for the man to take the lady's name before she has her brood, and then afterwards we bite his head off and feast on his innards.
Oh. Well, it seemed to have been a very successful coupling.
Yes, we produced such a fantastic brood. Baron, who I was telling you about, he went on to start a very wonderful career. He started as a dishwasher, learning from my own kitchen, and he worked his way up. He went to a big chain of hotels in some large city, maybe Paris, and he eventually started his own restaurant, and he was on his way to get a Michelin star. Unfortunately, he was imprisoned for poisoning all the patrons of his restaurant one fateful evening. The poor dear. And now
no.
he's rotting in jail.
That must be so hard for you.
It is difficult as a parent when your children make mistakes.
How many children of yours are in jail now? The only two you've talked about are both in jail. One for arson and one for poisoning.
Well, there's Frederick. He is in prison for forgery of thoughts. There's little Primus. That was piracy. Philomena. She was a deer, but she was in prison for poisoning owls. There's Cooper. Did I tell you about Cooper?
Not yet.
Okay, Armlong says from across the room, confidence scams. Yes, the poor dear is imprisoned locally. There have been a few of them that have had run-ins with the law, I'm afraid.
The world is tough out there. The world is certainly tough. We've all had our fair share of losses.
What do you dandling Nancy? What do you dandling Nancy's know of sorrow? This world is a ruin of fools. Fools who will find their way into imprisonment and the grave. I know a story about someone who started a restaurant, and it was they started working their way up from a dishwasher and worked in many hotel chains in London. And they worked their way up and eventually opened their own restaurant, and they were going to get an award too, a more prestigious award, a Tire Star award, and they died an addict, betrayed by the yes men and philanthropes around them who led to their ultimate demise.
Wow, Miss Trix, it sounds like Mr. Armstrong over there has known your family for quite a while.
We try and maintain good relationships with the members of law enforcement. It's important that we respect them, and when they decide that they want to stay somewhere, I try to oblige.
Miss Trix, is Armlong a cop?
He has to tell us if he's a cop.
I have the venerable position of thief taker. If you're a thief, I'ma take you, and I'ma put you where you belong.
I don't mean to be antagonistic, but Chaffink is sitting right there. One of the two of you is not very good at your... One of you is lying.
Chaffink looks at you and it's sort of like... I've got my eye on you, Chaffink. I'm convinced he's mostly harmless.
This entire time, Delita has been preening the good doctor. and has been eyeing the briefcase underneath the chair while they're playing the game.
All right. Okay. So the doctor is getting pretty into it, and is probably gonna invite Delita to go up to which
The
room
couch?
is he
The
in again?
couch?
Philomena's room.
Philomena's room.
Should we
for
take a break?
neighbors.
Should we take a break from the current activities and maybe explore the facilities?
Or maybe just a break in general.
Yeah.
Doc. We can take a break quickly if now would be a suitable time. Let's take like 5-10 and then come back. Let's storytell a little bit. Dr. Rourke is not going to want to go up to her room until the game is done. She is really insistent on taking as much as she can from as many as possible.
Pleasing us, yeah.
And I think Pierre is going to be pretty persistent in playing, and also telling you, casting aspersions on modernists, scientists, baboons, etc. At any point possible throughout the course of the game. So we can. We'll say that the game is like winding down a little bit. There's only maybe 2 players left when we come back, and then maybe we can get some investigations going on.
Excellent.
All right. Cheers, folks. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to A Night at the Golden Duck. Our heroes have been waylaid by an inn. Our heroes have decided to rest for the night at a very mysterious inn, and met up with some quite bizarre people. And where we left off, we were just finishing up a game in the corner. Dr. Rock was deciding that she would fleece as many people as she could, while herself getting fleeced by Delita in a different manner.
Yeah.
So
While
the
people are playing the game, I do want to just carefully through conversation with people figure out how often they swing by, because they were described as regulars and stopovers. So Armlong Armstrong is local law enforcement. We've learned that. And obviously Armlong and Chaffink know each other a bit. Does Chaffink stay here a lot, or are they also just passing by?
So Chaffink is passing through, very interested in hearing about treasures. So if you, Chaffink will start asking you questions about treasures that you have seen, treasures that you are maybe on your way to look for, treasures you've heard about, etc. Chaffink might, it is very interested in gold and treasures and whatnot, but it's just kind of passing through, and has been trying to just stay out of Armlong Armstrong's eye line the entire time that they have been here, because that's seems prudent given the situation.
Yeah.
Armlong is definitely a regular from what you can tell, more or less here every night, kind of camps out here, has made it a bit of a second home. Maybe is not really doing his job anymore as a thief taker, or is in semi-retirement. Seems to be that Armlong's main vocation right now is drinking a lot of the sweet sap that Miss Trix makes from the tree and serves out to her patrons.
What about Charlie, or not Charlie? What about Pierre?
I'm just passing through on a small detail. Just going around being a tourist. Not that I would want to live anywhere else where I was too, separated from the royals that I love. Lorraine, and is very important. Pierre's like fixing his hair, which is like very fluffy for an ape, but seems to move in such a way that maybe it's not fully affixed to his head. It's very yes. I am interested in those with combat abilities who may be wanting to go a bit of a war. Off on a military excursion. This interests you, little bird? Going off to fight the insurrectionist has taken over a country and is running it for the financier.
Payment?
Yes, we have large. The royals, they have the large quantities of gold, obviously, as passed down from their royal bloodlines and from their gods, because this is the thing about a king and a queen, is they are ordained by a deity, and that is why they rightfully rule their people.
The sun deity? Same as Valen?
No, we worship the one true deity of the ape, and I will have you know that the royal title passed down from him is indelible. It is unbreakable bond between him and the ruler who rightfully rules the land and all primates. None of this insurrection that has plagued our fair land for so long.
Just really quickly, so I can make sure I understand what's going on. There is a kingdom of apes ruled by the queen of the apes. And within the kingdom of the apes, there is the Grand Jacques, who are insurrectionists, and Pierre.
Grand Jacques leads the baboon revolution. He take over our fair land. They take over the courts and the courthouses, and they say these people do not represent us. We are democrats. We are the people. We will rule from the people, from the bottom down. Who wants to rule from the bottom? You must rule from the heart. La cour.
What a bamboozle!
All right.
I like this bird. I like the words you use. Bamboozle, indeed. Oui.
So,
La reine.
So, Pierre, are the apes in trouble? Are the baboon insurrectionists so strong that you're looking for more people to help the ape side, or?
I'm not saying that we are in trouble, we will prevail, but if any noble soldier will want to join our cause, I'm sure that we could make it worth their while and help us reclaim the palace and reclaim the courthouses and get rid of these bourgeois revolutionary.
You looking for a new occupation, Valen?
I will go wherever the light is needed. Wherever there is darkness, I shall come and speak the words of the light. And should it...
I think the God of the Apes may brand you as a heretic, actually.
In which case, I don't think I'm looking
feats.
for a new job. I appreciate it. I respect you and your apes. Not in any particular hurry to be branded as a heretic, especially by such a burly people as you and your ape friends.
I think you should do it, just to live out the pun of being a heretic. Get it, Valen? Get it, Valen?
I like this bird. Very funny. Oh.
And what about you, Dr. Rourke? Do you come here a lot, or are you just passing through?
Dr. Rourke is like big poker face right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, why so interested? Why do you ask me these questions? Why would you want to know? This inquisitive nature seems to indicate something in your disposition. Maybe something that you've discovered in childhood. Maybe something that was inflicted upon you by a trusted individual like a teacher. Maybe something that has led you down a dark path in your life and has poisoned your friendships and relationships ever since?
Yes.
Dr. Roke is like looking at you like very suspiciously.
Too much black bile. Too much black bile.
She like kicks her case underneath the seat a little bit further.
Like away from us or towards us?
Just like protectively, probably a
Okay.
subconscious thing.
Okay. Kicked under chair protectively. Just trying to make polite conversation while we play a hand of cards. No offense meant there, dear doctor. No offense meant.
And then right after that, she goes back to pumping you for information about yourself and any and all groups that you are members of. In fact, she now seems very interested in who exactly you're working for, and questions you in a way that it seems like she might be trying to trip you up in contradictions.
Trying to case us.
We're not lying. We don't have anything to hide here, dear doctor. We are simply people on a job, passing through an inn, playing a game of cards with new friends, basking in the glory of the light. Peace, dear doctor. I meant no offense.
There's only one way to determine that. 1, 2, 3 taps. I think the hair doth protest too much. I can see deep into your soul and see the true origin of these thoughts.
And what are they?
That you have been engaged in a semi-compulsive course of action that causes you,
And she starts babbling off again in another sort of stream of false analysis that is incredibly insulting of you, and then referencing to your friends how this explains all of your relationships with them.
Delita is just like nodding along to all of it.
All right, and I fold.
So Dr. Roke scoops everything up, and Miss Trix says at this point, "Oh, that's midnight. Lights out, everybody!" And she starts going and dousing the lamps. Time for bed, dears.
One
Time to head
tear.
off to bed. Good night. Good night.
Did we
she'll
get
start
like
kinda, like-
room keys or anything like that?
Yeah, she's hooked you up with whatever it
Alright.
is that you need in that regard. So yeah, I think the rooms are locked. You have keys that will open and close the doors.
Excellent. As we start walking to our rooms, I give the secret signal, which through our months of cooperation means we meet outside after everyone else is asleep.
And I just carefully nod my head. Signal received.
Delita takes a moment as he's trying to strong arm his way into the good doctor's room in like a polite but very intimate way, and then like nods along as well.
Okay, so Delita, you're going up to Dr. Roke's room while everyone else is going up to their own rooms.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Roke is going to make a show for you of being very tired and like needing to recline. We talked about, I'm the worst. I did not write down myself what room Dr. Roke is staying in.
I wrote it
Was
down.
Cooper?
They're in Philomena's room.
Yeah.
In Philomena's room. And so Philomena's room is filled
map!
with... Yeah.
Aphid stuff.
Philomena's room is filled with stuffed owls. And
That's weird.
Yeah, there's just stuffed owls like everywhere on all these different shelves and nooks and crannies. They're
Actually, if I may
standing
for a
looking
second, Jer.
together. Yep.
Wasn't there a part in the story of the princess loved owls? What was the connection of owls before?
There was an owl poisoner.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. No, that was one of the
found
kids
out-
is in jail for poisoning all the owls. Shoot, that's... I remembered the word owl. It's like, this is significant. You're like, no, Serge, we killed all the owls. Oh, awkward. Okay, carry on. Carry
It
on.
was in fact Philomena who was in jail
Weird.
for poisoning
Weird
owls.
that.
Oh.
So I'm gonna say, Delita, over the course of a few minutes, because you're gonna have to like excuse yourself. What are you trying to do?
Trying to case the room and try to make Dr. Rook want me to be there for a while.
Okay, well, actually, Dr. Roke wants nothing more than for you to lie down, in the absence of a couch, for you to lie down on the bed so that she can really, truly psychoanalyze you.
Delete his game. Delete his game.
All right, so you can be discussing that. Valen and it's Quaid.
Quaqueo.
Quaqueo. I actually wrote it down incorrectly myself, which is why I keep mispronouncing it. Quaqueo. What do you want to do?
I want to. Oh, I want to
Remind
go
me-
to my room.
Yeah.
I think I'm in Nikita's room. I think I'm in the first
Okay.
one.
Not shockingly, the inside of Nikita's room is kind of burned out. It has
Aggravated arson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has some unfortunate scorch marks on the floor and walls, and is generally it's well appointed as these things go. It's got a decent bed and some furniture and whatnot, but it looks like it was kind of badly damaged.
So, I was considering casting Detect Magic, and it says the duration is 2 turns. How long is a turn?
So a turn is 10 minutes.
Oh.
So this is
Yeah.
like 20 minutes of Detect Magic, and is that the description of the spell doesn't say it like moves with me? Is it like an effect on myself where I see glowy magic sources, or
I mean, like, I think that it makes sense that it is something given its duration that would move with you. Sure.
okay? It says the range is 60 feet,
Yeah.
so it's just like okay. Yeah, then I would like to go to my room, put down my pack, floppy hat on the bedpost, cast Detect Magic, like scribe out the ritual.
I'm just gonna just want to take a look at the spell again quickly. I know that the spell descriptions are really, really short. It's got a range of 60 feet, but doesn't really have any sort of area of effect, as I recall, right? Like it's just range 60.
It says enchanted objects, areas, or creatures are caused to glow.
Yeah. Okay.
Both
yeah,
permanent
it moves
and
with you.
temporary enchantments.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, you light it up. Nothing in your room is glowing for magic right now,
Okay. I will take
except anything that you have on you.
which is a ring of protection. I'll take my lantern and some oil and put my floppy wet hat back on and head out the door and down, I guess, to meet people outside, because that's what the signal meant. So it's like, I guess I'll go to the horse tent.
Okay.
Nice.
I do not want to go back outside, but
Yeah, outside is pretty gross still. Valen, what are you up to?
I should take a quick scan of my room as well. So I look around. I'm in Aikido's room.
Aikido's room has full of stuffed toys, all
Stuffed
sorts of
toys.
stuffed creatures of various sorts.
Full of stuffed toys. Very interesting. Anything else that stands out? Like dressers,
nope.
art on the wall, or just I'm in a room full of teddy bears, and he's like,
Yeah, there's a lot of furniture still in here. It looks like much of the furniture maybe from the original resident, Miss Trick's kid. But there's still like a functional bed. There's a bedside table, and there's a dresser for you to put your clothes in. But there's nothing like super interesting, and no bathtubs or anything like that.
Quick
All right.
question. Is there a stuffed animal that looks exactly like Valen in there?
There's probably a stuffed bunny. I wouldn't say that it looks exactly like Valen, but
Okay.
it's maybe pretty close.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Just
like
asking.
a white and brown spotted bunny, whereas Valen is mostly brown.
So I'll start making my way out as well, and maybe due to the rain, we stop at the front door instead of going all the way out to the horses because they're like, I could go out there, or I could wait right here.
Okay, that's fine. If you're stopping at the front door, you will see. I mean, you're going to see anyway as you pass through the common room that Armlong Armstrong didn't go to bed. He is just sitting and staring into the fire in a dour, dejected sort of way.
Maybe when Quaquayo gets here, we will have to go outside, depending what we want to speak of.
Yeah. So as I make my way down from my room and through the common area, do I see any enchantments?
I don't think that. Okay, so yeah, I don't think you are going to see any on Armlong. Nope, I'm not seeing any enchantments that you would see on your way down.
So I guess I meet up with Valen, who is awkwardly standing by the door. And I see that Armlong's here, like, what's up?
Well, I think we have an opportunity to warm up. I mean, obviously, the job that we have that takes place tomorrow is great, but we can't have an opportunity like this and not try and find the golden duck.
Exactly. I mean, it's even my middle name.
It's an odd coincidence and truly auspicious. Truly auspicious. I suppose Delita got the signal. Let's give him a second here to catch up and circle back, and we'll discuss our plan.
Delita was getting busy with the doctor. And I don't know how long it takes for birds. Like 10 seconds?
Don't
Like,
they
it's
lay
just,
eggs?
it's moments, right?
Don't they lay eggs?
Do they have to go in the air? I don't know if they have to be in the air.
This wasn't
I don't think
covered.
tonight's a good night for flying.
It's very stormy out there. You're right.
So, Delita, Dr. Roke, if she can get you onto the psychology coach, is going to start psychoanalyzing you. Are you going to let this proceed, or are you heading out to have your meeting?
I'm going to let this proceed, but as often as possible while being subtle about it, I'm looking at the room, examining everything in there, and also eyeing up the briefcase.
Okay. So she is psychoanalyzing you and asking all sorts of leading, probing questions about your childhood and your dreams and your nightmares and how you feel about them and things like that. And she's also peppering them with questions about Valen. When did you meet Valen? Who pulls the string, or who tells Valen what to do? Does Valen ever leave for long extended periods of time? What does Valen do when leaving on extended periods of time? That kind of thing.
And I just keep responding, we're contract workers. We're coworkers, but we're not close.
So as you case the room, she put her mysterious case down, probably next to or under the bed, and put her coat or cloak or boots or whatever not around the dresser in the room. Maybe she put her hat on one of the stuffed owls because that makes sense.
Is she doing?
Also,
Is
she
she
periodically
doing any of this slightly seductively, or is that not a vibe from her at all?
It seems like she gets into it when you start flirting with her and being seductive, but then she gets distracted by her need to psychoanalyze you and her need to find out more about Valen.
Okay. She has a nerd brain about it, where it's yes, this is the topic that I will discuss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Difficult to keep her focus.
Yeah. Well, Delita will not try and linger too long. I think fade to the fireplace if it is a pleasant bird coupling, or like a quiet scuffling out of the room if it is less close. And Delita will eventually make their way down to the front door.
Okay, well, I think we can fade to the fireplace. I think that can happen if Delita wants it to happen. That's for your completely mercenary interests. Go James Bond, I guess.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, for the two of you, for Quaqueo and Valen, this is taking quite a long time that Delita hasn't shown up.
Yeah, I think at the knowing that Delita's probably delayed, I would be like, well, we might as well ask, call in an expert witness, talk to Armon. Like, if you were hiding something from a thief, where would you hide it?
If I were hiding something from a thief, I would hide it in jail, because the last place a thief wants to
I meant
go
in
is
this
jail.
building, in the Golden Duck building. Based on your familiarity with the surroundings and the layout in the rooms, where would be a good place to hide something that
The
would prevent
only
it from being discovered?
the only trustworthy place for the Golden Duck would be in this very hand, because ain't no one gonna thief it from this hand. No brigand will get it. No smooth supplier, no trumpet smuggler will find it here.
But
Have
it's
other
not.
Appeal scream permeates the Golden Duck just as the lightning strikes several more times and thunder cracks. Someone screams from upstairs, and there's a loud thump.
Hey, Valen, I think you should go check that out.
I'm going to go check that out. I start running upstairs.
Okay. So Valen rushes upstairs, and as you arrive, you see Shafink is standing outside one of the rooms on the bedroom floor that you're all on.
Because Chaffink was staying on the floor above, right?
Yeah.
Right. And
Was it Gavin's room?
yeah, it's the one labeled aphid stuff on the map.
Oh, okay.
And they are staring in horror at the dead body of Miss Trix, which is lying on the ground in front of what appears to be a closet. Ah! And they look her. They turn around and look at you. I was just walking by, and the door fell open, and she fell out. There she is. She's dead.
Is that Pierre's room?
It's Aphid stuff.
Aphid stuff.
Yeah, there's no one staying in this room.
Oh. It's like the larder.
Delita, you definitely heard that as well.
Yeah.
I'm coming out with the doctor, probably.
Yeah,
KKO, Delita, we've got a situation.
Okay.
We've got a situation.
I want to lean out of Valen's shadow where I've been lurking, and just like get my if detect magic is still running, get my eyes on the scene of Shafink and the dead body.
Okay, well, you're not getting any magic. The room looks to be full of barrels of aphids, pickling stuff, drying stuff, things that you might use to prepare aphids if you are Miss Trix or someone like Miss Trix.
Are there any prepared aphid snacks in here?
There may be a few, yeah.
So I'm gonna grab one.
Or like 90% of the way there. Dr. Roke immediately looks suspiciously at Valen, seeing Valen on the scene as she comes out of her room. Yeah, nothing magic.
I'm going to say out loud, I'm going to examine the body. I'm a cleric. I have some specialty knowledge in this. We're going to get to the bottom of who did this.
I mean, we got a doctor right here. Maybe the doctor should do it.
No offense to the doctor, but she's kind of a quack.
Ah! I'm a doctor. You're correct. Let me give my assessment. Diagnosis.
Oh no.
1, 2, 3 taps. This bug is dead. It looks like someone has removed her guts.
Indeed, it looks like Miss Trix has died in a rather horrible way. Her head is entirely missing, and all of the guts that you would expect to be inside her body are missing, leaving only just like a shell.
Yeesh.
And the other guests are now, coming on the scene, having heard the scream as well. Valen, did you want to also examine the body?
Please.
Yeah. You go for that while the doctor is like having that chat with people. Delita is going to stealthily try and find the briefcase and just pop it open to see what's inside.
Okay, yeah. The briefcase is back inside Dr. Roke's room, so that is something that you can do.
Can we resolve that first? That sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head in and you unclasp the briefcase, and then you unclasp the other one. You're looking back at Dr. Roke, but Dr. Roke's definitely distracted right now.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and inside is a fiddle and a bow. But the bow is the kind that you use to play a fiddle, not to shoot arrows.
Anything else in there?
That is all that is in there.
Okay. Delita is going to close it, put it right back where it was, because it does not look like a golden duck of any kind. He can steal it later if he wants to, but not right now.
I would like to examine this body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you're looking at the body. It basically appears to be exactly what was described to you. Like all the innards are missing. All that's basically there is like her sort of exoskeleton, but the remainder of her body seems to be completely gone.
Do I have any indication of a weapon? Are there like chip marks on the chitin? Does it look like it was ripped or magical or surgical or laser beamed?
Yeah, it looks like there are definitely some stress marks on the chitin up near the head, as if it's kind of split open.
By one large hand or two?
Difficult to tell, but definitely would have required a fair bit of strength, probably, if you were to just grab the chitin and start wrenching it open. That would have taken quite a bit of muscle.
All right. Next question. Is there a mess or is this clean? Like, are there bug blood everywhere, or is it just like an empty husk with the organs in the head removed?
The latter.
Like it was all sucked out?
Potentially, yeah.
And is Pierre around?
Pierre emerges from his room just at this moment. I hear a sound. What is this? Oh my goodness, murder most foul. Someone in our midst has killed Miss Trix.
That's a big assumption.
What other assumption would there be? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you looking down on the body of the dead bug. Certainly one of you is the murderer who has done this foul deed.
I mean, we all could have conspired to do it together.
Certainly, I think this is a moment where I will be choosing my alliances very carefully and keeping an eye on all of you, for I do not trust you to have not have done this.
any of you could be a violent revolutionary hell-bent on raising havoc in even this most innocent of inn.
So what were you doing a few minutes ago?
I was making ready to go to bed. Certainly, his current state seems to indicate that this is true. He has his shirt or his jacket, which is sort of like a uniform like jacket, off, and he's got just sort of a tank top underneath, showing his big burly ape arms, and a pair of stripy boxer shorts, under which were presumably on underneath his pants. But he has his sword in one foot, ready to go should he need it right now.
Mr. Armlong, as a member of law enforcement, Mr. Armstrong, Armlong is your first name, could we reach an agreement that nobody leaves tonight until we get to the bottom of this?
This seems like a prudent arrangement. Nobody in, nobody out.
But the whole thing's
this,
an
of course,
inn.
is, of course, not to absolve you of any guilt. Of course, you're just as suspicious as everyone else. But I suppose that we can all agree that as law enforcement, even if you're enjoying a semi-retirement right now, we can at least trust you to watch the door.
I never said I was retired, but I will be keeping an eye on all of you.
Team, could we take a second to step away and discuss
Huddle
some
up?
details? Huddle up? Yeah, huddle up. All right. Nobody go anywhere. We should, check our alibis and see how everything goes here.
Yeah.
All right.
So the head's missing.
Yeah. I don't know if you two remember this, but on that job we did a couple months ago, we
The
managed
one
to
with
get
Stuart, the fighter?
Stuart the fighter, exactly. I'll miss him. Can't
Rip.
believe he died. We almost came out clean and then he just died.
Yeah.
May the light shine upon his body. F's for Stu. But on that job, Mr. Goldsacks was so proud he rewarded us with a little something, that little piece of the cake of clairvoyance. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but this is a magical item that clerics of the light can use. It's a piece of biscuit wrapped in a large flat leaf infused with cocoa and cinnamon, but it gives you a chance to speak to the voices of passing spirits. If you can cover for me, I'm going to enter a trance and try and talk to the spirit and maybe get some clues as to what happens here. But it's vital that no one interrupts me while I'm having these dreams.
Okay, we can cover for you.
Yeah?
We'll lock you in my room.
I mean, I have my own room as well. Maybe slightly less suspicious?
But my room's right here.
All right. Yes, let's do that.
Oh,
Okay,
I haven't
so-
even checked my room yet.
Yeah, you went to someone else's room.
Yeah.
Which room did I say that you were in,
The
Delia?
one beside Dr. Roke.
Right.
Yes, beside
So
the stairs.
Sally's?
Sally's room. So Sally's room is full of news clippings and other pieces of news, screed, and pieces of books, drawings, etchings, paintings, and they're all sort of like assembled all over the walls and ceiling, and then connected with pieces of yarn.
This is the conspiracy room.
Yeah.
With,
Oh, no.
with labels connecting all of them. You notice that Goldsacks is one of the people mentioned here, and is connected to all sorts of other folks. The baboon revolutionary leader Grand Jacques is also featured in this far-reaching conspiracy. There's no indication here as to, if you're like taking some time to look at it, as to what any of these people are actually trying to do, but they are connected seemingly in this web.
So, Quaquayo, do you want to guard the door while I case the room? And Valen goes into a trance.
I was thinking about checking out the other rooms.
If you like. The doors
Yes.
lock from the inside as well, or
So if you go and check one of the other rooms, let's deal with Valen first, actually. So
Yeah.
if you're going to start investigating, that's totally cool. But we should get Surge to figure out. We should figure out what Surge is doing with Valen.
Yeah.
So here is Surge. So you have this biscuit, this chocolate biscuit that is going to send you into a trance. And whose room are you going to eat this?
I'm in Delita's room. I've been
Okay.
invited into the room of the conspiracy theory. They're all connected, apparently.
yeah, the one theory.
Yeah, and this seems like the perfect place to consume edibles next to a murder. Sure, why not? Let's go.
All right. So you eat the biscuit. You eat the whole biscuit, lying on the bed or something, I assume.
Oh yeah,
Doctor-
great. Let's lie down.
Dr.
Because
Roke
it does
is really
project
interested
my
in-
spirit to the astral plane, so I imagine I should be lying down for this.
Okay. Dr. Roke is really interested in what's going on. Quaquayo, you can definitely see Dr. Roke sort of like watching what's going on in that room.
Yeah.
And looking very suspicious of it. Meanwhile, Armlong is giving everyone a speech about how he is going to be casing the entire inn to try and find the murderer in one of these rooms and ensure that it's not one of you guys. So Valen, you pop this brownie and chow down on it. And this is basically how I propose this works. For 10 minutes of table time, you don't get to talk to us as you are in a trance. But you may read and post to chat and see if chat has any idea as to what's going on.
Cool.
All right.
I'm not watching chat, so I will not be
Yeah,
able
same.
to see it until you, Valen, tell us.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Valen, you go into your trance to consult the wandering spirits. Chat, if you have any theories as to what is going on, I will tell you that I believe that I've given you at least one very significant clue about where the golden duck might be. You can conspire with Surge about that and see if you can give him any inspiration. So. For the other two of you, Armlong is going to go upstairs. Oh, I should set a timer here. Set a timer for 10 minutes. So Armlong is going to go upstairs and start conducting a room-by-room search of the upstairs rooms. And Dr. Roke is quite interested in knowing what's going on in the downstairs, or in the room with Valen in it, in Delita's room. Delita, are you sort of like running interference there?
Yeah, I'm going to keep flirting. Maybe not as much as before because we've already panned the fireplace. You can't do that more than once in a movie, right?
Right.
And I'm going to just drop in the flirting and the conversation something about like, oh yeah, I play a mean flute over in Cardiff. Do you play any instruments?
Okay. Dr. Roke's reaction to that is to start looking at you with great suspicion. She is giving you the side eye, but she always gives everyone the side eye.
Yeah.
But definitely, like she bites her pipe quite hard when as soon as you say it, and then she starts like looking at the room and looking at you and looking very puzzled and contemplative, and starts saying a lot less to you in general. Pierre is going to go upstairs with Armlong to look at the rooms upstairs. And Chaffinch is going to kind of idly start wandering toward the downstairs.
Quayo, go after traffic.
I'm gonna go after Armlong and be like,
Okay.
wow, yeah, searching all the rooms is a great idea, but what do you think the motive could be? Like, we find some evidence.
Many of these thieves don't need any evidence at all, or don't need any motive at all. They're just degenerates and pillagers looking to make a quick buck. Who would pick on someone as kind and innocent as Miss Trix
You think
here?
there's money
She runs-
involved?
Oh, there's always money involved. Let me tell you another story about an innkeeper who was robbed by a patron. The patron took all that she had and ran for a tower on the water. The tower had a blazing icon at the top, a holy symbol that was used to tell.
Oh,
boats
look, we're
when
at
they
the
were
first
approaching
room.
the shore. All right. They all died in a tsunami anyway. So Armlong opens the first room. So both Armlong and Chaffinch have rooms upstairs. The first one, I guess, is the one that Chaffinch is assigned to, Gwen's room, which has carved hearts. Just one pair of carved hearts on the wall right next to the window that says Gwen and Ulrich in it as a distinctive feature. Beyond that, the room on its face looks pretty much the same as any of the other rooms. I'd also point out that the way that the windows work, they have curtains that you can see if you look at the map that they look like kind of tunnels going out, so they're like quite long windows. But right now you've only ever seen the curtains closed,
Okay.
and the curtains are on the inside of that tunnel bit. So the doesn't look like there's anyone in here, so they go to the next room. Next room has some, looks like a desk that has some like pen marks and dents and things in it, and is potentially and then some diplomas on the walls. No one in here either.
And that was
next one.
Armlong's room? Or
That's the one that Armlong is ostensibly staying in, though he has not been up there.
Yeah.
After that is another one with a desk, paper, and pens. And then after that has a it doesn't really have anything distinctive about it, but it's got kind of an off smell. And there's, as you open the door, there's some skittering of bugs of some sort, other kinds of bugs, non-sentient bugs, seemingly. Maybe aphids that got in. Something skitters around. And Armlong is going to spend some time trying to figure out what it was, because you never know with these bugs.
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like checking under the bed. I'm like, I swear I heard something too.
All right, so you and Armlong are going to search there. Pierre is going to go and look at the next room. So you hear the door open over there. There's nothing in here, just boring ocean stuff. So you search around. You are able to find a rat hiding under the bed that you and Armstrong corner, and it darts up seemingly inside the mattress after you spot it.
Huh.
And if you investigate further, there's a rat's nest inside the mattress.
Yeah, just like, so you want to check out the ocean stuff?
Yeah, well, let's keep going. By the time you like walk by the southernmost room, you can see that there's sea charts on the walls and an ornamental ship steering wheel propped up against one of them. Um, and Pierre is really interested in the next room, which is labeled Gavin on the map. It has a dueling trophy in it, and he's holding it and going, I won one of these in my younger years when I was but a young upstart looking to make my name in the world. It was and he starts telling a long-winded story about how he upheld the country or the reputation of the royals and fought in their honor and other such things. The following one has punch marks in the walls, but seemingly no actual people in any of these rooms.
Punch marks.
All right.
So Delita, you and Dr. Roke are talking to each other on the middle floor. Dr. Roke is interested in knowing if you want a nightcap.
Or do you want maybe a little nip of something?
We already were nipping enough before, don't you think?
Yeah, we were, and it was very appealing, sort of. But no, I mean just hard alcohol, because I can see by looking at you that you are one who is prone to vices, which I can tell because of what you told me about your younger siblings and their relationship and the strange relationship you had with the unhatched egg in your nest when you looked at it as a fledgling and felt insufficient next to its large and hard countenance. Therefore, I can assume that you are interested in partaking of the vices. And
that sounds like a vice that we share.
She hops over into her room and produces a bottle of something that looks expensive.
I mean, I'll have a nightcap if it'll keep her away from Valen.
Yeah, Valen is still happily dozing. Okay, so she's gonna get the drinks and has a couple of cups, because people carry their own cups when they are on the road, and sets them up over here and goes to pour the drink into the cups. Turns around. Here you are.
And we clink, and I guess
Clink.
peck into it.
Yeah. All right. So Valen, you are coming to after your trance. Your edible has expired, and the room is slowly coming back into focus.
The things that I have seen. Is anyone
No
in the
one's
room
there.
with me?
You're alone.
You're alone.
You're by yourself.
I need to find my friends. I need to find my friends. Okay, I'm gonna scramble outside of the door. I'm clearly kind of overwhelmed by everything that I've learned.
All right, and
So I'm in the hallway.
Yeah, you're in the sort of central area of the.
Is the body right in front of me?
Yeah, it's right there on the ground.
Is anyone else there?
I'd
No.
be coming down from upstairs if we were finished scoping
Yeah.
out those rooms.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
All
us
right.
birds are nearby as well.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
going
not-
to
they're
get
not far
down and closer to it, and I'm going to start asking myself, is this obviously Mrs. Trix, or could this be a different beetle?
Okay, it's not wearing the apron that you saw Miss Trix wearing earlier. And it looks like it might be. I mean, if you're looking for differences, it might be a little smaller.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have checked on Mrs. Trix's room, actually.
You're not here yet. Hold on. Yeah. I have an idea. The spirits have communed with me.
And us too, as we keep pecking at the alcohol.
Wait, are you drunk? Have you been drinking?
Just starting.
Quay, Delita.
Yeah! Okay, I come down from upstairs.
Okay. Yep.
Molten. Beetles.
I'm not right now. Thank you for asking.
Beetles
either.
shed their skins. Do we even know she's dead?
Well, we can go check. She has a room on the bottom floor.
Let's go check.
Yeah.
All right. So you head downstairs, but Delita, you find yourself heading upstairs.
Okay, am I that drunk?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, I guess, go upstairs. Are the two big boys there?
Yeah, you run into them coming down the stairs. Ah, little bird! What are you doing walking so suspiciously in the opposite direction as us? Have you come to check out the rooms as well? There is nothing up there.
That you say, although I did hear maybe that there were other children that we haven't seen the paraphernalia for. Maybe those are clues to this mystery.
It's silly. There's nothing up there. There's some rats up there. They are causing problems. Come, you will come with us, and we will keep an eye on you to make sure you are not doing anything suspicious.
I mean, they definitely can strong arm me. I'm like 5'2", with a strength of 5.
So, Valen and Valen and Quaqueo, you pretty quickly realize that Delita is not with you as you go down the stairs, but you do obviously make it to the first floor.
Gonna be honest, I think I'm still coming off the effects of the edibles and really need to prove this theory. I just really need to know I'm right about something right now.
Lead on.
All right. So
I hate to split the party, but I need to know. I need to know.
I'm with you.
So so you head downstairs, and then you've got as I say, there's the central fireplace. Paul can actually show a map for this. There's the central fireplace, and then there's some bars that head to either side of it, and you can see that there's a room to the north of there that is the kitchen, and then Miss Trick's personal quarters is sort of off on it's a little side room. So presumably you can head over there, and you can. What are you gonna do?
We're gonna knock on the door.
Okay, so
Miss Trix?
Just a moment, dear. Just a moment.
She's not dead?
I'm getting up. I'm coming. Just a moment. Just a moment.
As you are waiting for Miss Trix, you hear a sound that sounds like a dish falling on the floor and shattering in the kitchen, just to your left as you're talking to Miss Trix. And she comes out. She comes out of the bedroom door.
Oh, what is it, dear? What is it? Was there a problem?
We thought you died, and now the entire inn is on lockdown trying to find your killer.
Oh, well, no, I've just been sleeping. What would lead you to such a dreadful conclusion?
Well, we found a beetle carcass. It was rather alarming, and as you were the only beetle in the place, we thought you were dead, and somebody had sucked out all of your organs.
I have been meaning to get rid of that shell. Oh no! Oh my goodness, no! That's such a silly thing. No, I've been meaning to get rid of it for so long, and yet I was not. Um, yes, I apologize. I have been meaning to get rid of that carcass. Oh, it's so embarrassing too. I just don't fit
Whose
into it
show
anymore.
is that?
It's mine. I don't fit into it anymore. I was telling you, and now I'm round like this. I'm round as a barrel, and it makes me so sad because I used to
You look great. It's fine. It's a natural thing. All beetles go through this.
Oh,
Let's stop by and find out what just broke in the kitchen, and let's gather everyone up and let them know it's no longer an emergency. You're not dead, right?
Yes,
Praise the light. Praise the light. Even in the time of darkness, even in the night, we find light in the dark.
Yes, dear. Of course. Thank you so much. Yes. Let me put some tea together for everyone.
Sure.
She,
And what broke in the kitchen?
So she's going to hobble off toward the kitchen.
Yeah, we're all going to the kitchen.
Okay. Presuming you follow her, you can see that there's a plate that's shattered on the ground in front of, there's one of those sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? That it holds like a set of plates so that they face outward. In
Display.
a really nice
Like a china cabinet.
Yeah, there's a china cabinet. There's this like very specific word I'm looking for that, of course, I cannot bring to mind right now. But yeah, there's essentially a china cabinet, and one of the plates has fallen off and shattered on the ground.
Is there anyone else downstairs right now?
There are there's like drawers open, and it looks like someone's been going through things in the kitchen.
Well, this is really quite something. I assure you, we had nothing to do with this.
Well, the thief did come down here. But I don't see the thief now.
Yes, it looks like someone has rifled my kitchen. This is most distressing. Oh my goodness. Well, dears, I will clean this up. I will clean this up and get some tea ready. I guess you can round up the troops and tell them that everything is fine here. I'm so sorry for causing such a fuss. Let's put that down in the pantry. Let's move that down to the pantry. Why don't you bring it down to me, dears?
Sure. There's a pantry?
Yeah.
And at this point, you're still feeling like quite disoriented.
Oh yeah.
No,
I've seen some stuff, man.
Sorry, Delita, you're still feeling like a little disoriented as Pierre, and Armlong lead you downstairs, following the rest of the group. So the three of you plus the two of them and then Miss Trix have all collected downstairs.
So we don't have Rock and we don't have the thief. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, sorry. Chaffinch also is already downstairs, sitting in the common area.
The only person not here is Dr. Rock.
Yes, the only person not there is Dr. Rock.
Well, good news, everybody. Turns out this is all a hilarious misunderstanding, and our good host, Miss Trix, is not dead. She's in fact making us tea right now so we can all calm our nerves.
Yes, I am fine, dears. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, this is wonderful news. It is so good that you are not dead and can continue running this place of good humor and edifice.
It does, however, look like somebody took this opportunity to rummage through the good lady's kitchen and smash some of her china.
A thief!
I would ask, where was everyone a couple of minutes ago?
Well, we obviously have an alibi. I being with this Delita bird. Yes, the bird was with me, and I was with this one as well.
I was with you.
And the
Chaffing, I know you've been down here. Where were you a minute or two ago?
I was taking a constitutional. I had to go to the bathroom. I was in the outhouse, outdoors.
Is it still raining?
It is still raining. It is still thundering, and there is still lightning.
Is
Are they wet?
Chaffink wet? Yeah.
Chaffink is wet. At least their boots are wet.
Has anyone seen the good doctor?
Not too long ago.
Last you saw her, she was upstairs, down the staircase, or up the staircase. You just came down. Delita, can I get you to make a saving throw versus poison, please?
I assume so. First roll of the night. What am I going for here? Poison. I rolled a 19.
19. Well, that's pretty good. So you start to vomit.
Wow!
I look at the wet boots and go, gross, and just barf.
So Miss Trix is obviously quite distressed about this. She is going to go fetch she's going to put down the tea makings on the bar, and then she's going to go and fetch a bucket and a mop to try and clean it up. Ah, you are not in good humor, bird person.
My humors are all out of balance.
Yeah, so obviously I was just out at the outhouse, and wow, you look like you're having some trouble there. Are you sure you're okay?
I mean, I had a little nip.
Maybe we should all just go to
peck or
bed.
two.
Maybe we should just pack it in.
I mean, I can't, eye anyone because I am, down for the count here, barfing.
Yeah.
Anything, Quaquayo or Valen? What are you guys thinking?
What happened while I was down? Why is Delita so sick?
I think you guys saw me with the doctor, with spirits in hand together. Only for a moment, though.
Yeah, maybe we should find the doctor before we go to bed, just in case.
While there is not a murder, there is certainly a thief among us.
Yeah.
Armlong, I imagine you're motivated to get to the bottom of this.
Yes. Yes, there does seem to be some sort of thief in our midst. Miss Trix, do you see anything missing in the kitchen?
No, everything. My salt cellar is missing! Someone has stolen my adorable ducky salt cellar!
Was it in any way golden? Did you say it was silver before?
It's porcelain, I think.
Or
She's yelling from the kitchen.
Huh. Okay.
All right. Well, let's take a second here and try and find the good doctor. Delita, are you able to move? How are you feeling now that you've gotten this out of your system?
I mean, you're just kind of hearing not quite the cat barf noise. Something similar, something adjacent to it. But, I'm just kind of starting to pull myself together a little bit. And just kind of, thumbs upping.
All right. Yeah. I think you're gonna pull yourself together. I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's find the good doctor here and let's see if we can't track down the location of this salt shaker.
Okay. Well, you know the last place that you saw the doctor,
Which was upstairs.
Upstairs.
And really quick, Chaffink, could you come with us as well? And what are they wearing? Are they wearing anything baggy enough that could hide a large salt shaker?
Yes, Chaffink has a wonderful black cape and some sort of voluminous black shirt underneath. He's dressed in most ways like the Dread Pirate Roberts, so they have ample spots that they could probably secret away a salt shaker, maybe under their hat, behind the cape, in the pantaloons. Lots of places that a salt cellar could go.
I don't mean to cast unjust suspicion on you, Chaffink, but Armstrong, could you perhaps check our good friend here for a salt shaker?
Ah, it would be my pleasure. Chaffink, can you please spread the... Oh, my goodness. Oh, I found a salt cellar. There it is. Oh, but you know me, ha ha ha. I take things and then I return them, because that is the kind of thief that I am, and that's why I was kind enough to let you know that this could happen. I apologize, Miss Trix, for the broken plate. It was such a, it was an unfortunate side effect, and clearly this is not the golden duck. This is only a porcelain duck. Ha ha ha. That I was sorely tempted by. Puts it gingerly down on the table.
There is one other thing that the spirits may have told me. Miss Trix, if you could forgive me this one small insult.
Yes?
I'm going to try and chip away a little corner of the salt shaker.
Okay, so you chip away at the salt shaker, the salt cellar a little bit. A salt cellar is not the same as a salt shaker.
Like
it's
a vessel.
Yeah, it's like a box that you use to hold salt. She said,
Oh no, it's an heirloom. It's been in my family for quite some time. I don't know how I feel about this. I would have to ask that you
Check its weight. Gold is really heavy.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's a good thing too. How heavy is it?
it's not super duper heavy, honestly. It's
as heavy as porcelain.
It's as heavy as porcelain.
Okay.
Okay.
There was a theory going that perhaps the salt shaker was actually the disguised golden duck that had been passed down for year after year, but if we don't want to check, I don't know what to tell you.
Le Cano d'Or. Yes. That the secret may have been hidden inside. This salt shaker was in fact passed down through the years. Well, I would indulge a small experiment.
Do you want to shatter the salt shaker?
I'm going to feel really bad when I shatter the salt shaker.
Or the salt cellar? It shatters into like a billion pieces and spills salt all over the ground. And everyone in the room lets out a breath.
And revealed within the salt is...
Salt.
Yeah.
Porcelain shards.
Okay, bedtime, I guess. Let's just go find the doctor and move on with our lives. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Just salt.
So you can head upstairs if you want. You can hear loud snoring coming from Dr. Rourke's room.
And I assume the door is locked because why
Did you
wouldn't
try
you,
and go
right?
in?
Well, I know where the thing is. The thing of value. Maybe
wanna
not
take her
gold
violin?
value, but yeah. Is the door locked?
Are you going to try it? Yeah, I guess you're trying it if you're asking
Yeah.
me that question. So it opens, and the room appears to be empty.
Like no one in there?
No one in there.
Where's the snoring coming from?
Are you just standing in the doorway, like, wondering this?
Like with my beak through the cracked door, like...
Okay, so by sort of like very carefully sidling around, you see Dr. Roque standing with a chair in her hands, like next to the door, ready to smash it down on the head of someone. And when she sees you, she drops the chair and goes,
What are you doing here? This is my private room.
I would like to cast Sleep on the good doctor.
Are all of you up there on the second floor, sort of behind Delita?
I thought so.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Okay, go ahead. She gets a saving throw, I believe.
Yes. What do I even roll here?
You don't roll anything.
Okay.
We will have none of this. What are you doing? Help! Help! I'm being attacked. A spy has infiltrated the Golden Duck and has come for me. Stop this horrible counter agent.
And you hear Pierre go, a spy, from downstairs, and start lumbering upstairs.
Great. Okay. Well. Huh.
Well, let's get you to talk your way out of this.
Yeah.
Should we go into initiative?
I think I'm just gonna burn charm person.
Okay.
I'm gonna charm her.
To try and cover up your. I mean, that's I think fair.
Yeah.
So charm person. Yeah.
One
they just save
humanoid
versus-
must save versus spells or be charmed. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
What? Delita, what are you doing? What are you doing coming into my room? This is not what I expected.
Oh,
But it's good to see you.
Oh, you too. And I do a little one-eyed, like, wink thing because birds. You can't
she
really
does a little
show
one-eyed.
wink.
She does a little one-eyed wink back to you.
Yeah.
What would you be doing coming back in? I had gone to bed. I was not expecting you.
Well, I wanted to tell you that we don't have a corpse. We only have a shell. The Lady Trix is fine.
Oh,
No.
Your rabbit friend did such a poor job of that autopsy. It's no wonder that he was suspicious, you know. I think that he might be an agent of a hostile power. I think that he may be looking for information on me. He may be trying to sniff out my sponsors. But it's okay, Delita. I will take you away with me, and together we will form a new intelligence agency for the Grand Duke of the North.
I am going to give a sign to Valen and Quaqueo, like the sign of I'm dealing with it.
We start
whatever
backing
it
away.
is,
We
Yep.
start
to
backing
like
away.
shoo you guys off. And
Yeah, and I imagine Pierre is running up the stairs at this point.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I'll just be like, yo, they got
what
it.
about Pierre? Oh, okay.
Bird
Yeah.
things.
Who is the spy? Who is the spy?
Talk it over with Doctor. There's a bird misunderstanding. I'm going to bed. I already smashed a salt shaker. I have seen things. I have seen things.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. So yeah, Pierre will go in. The doctor will explain to Pierre that you are actually not a spy and it's all okay. But we'll then go on about how Valen is actually a spy and is attempting some sort of sinister operation at the Golden Duck.
I will not dissuade them at all about that idea, but I will pump them for as much information as the doctor is willing to give, and she is pliant right now because of Charm Person.
Yeah,
about
but she's not.
their organization.
Yeah, she doesn't really want to talk about who she works for, and she and Pierre are not working for the same people. They are in different cohorts. What are the two of you doing while Delita is chatting with these two?
Well, there's no clues. No one's missing. I guess I go to bed.
Yeah, Delita almost got us killed, and I think that's an excellent time to maybe say that we've done a good job. We solved the mystery, we smashed a family heirloom, and nobody died.
Lock my
Yep.
door and put a chair under the the handle.
I push a cupboard in the way. I push one of the big,
Tomorrow's gonna be a long day on the road, especially
Oh, we
with all
got
this
so
mud.
much work to do. We got
Woo!
very important tasks to do. We can't. Got to remember not to get sidetracked.
All right. So we can say that you go to bed. Delita, are you sleeping with the doctor, or are you finding going back to your own room?
I'm trying to get information, so I'm going to stay with the doctor and watch for any poisons. I'm going to be
Okay.
savvy about it.
Sure. So when you wake up in the morning, Dr. Roke is dead, having poisoned herself. And but as for the rest of everyone, they are okay, and everyone goes about the rest of their wonderful adventure.
Okay. Guess that happened. Wasn't me.
It's like, wow, Delita, did you see anything weird? Did anyone sneak in here and like poison them? I'm just like, weird.
Yeah.
We could do that whole thing again, but honestly, it's 9:40, so we don't really have time for it.
Yeah.
But
Holy moly!
Must have been Pierre.
well, you didn't find it, and unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, this adventure is written by Patrick Stewart, who's a notable designer in the OSR RPG space, and illustrated by Scrap Princess. That's where the super cool, sketchy illustrations you see come from. But I've been in touch with Patrick to make sure that it was okay to stream this, and because show off the art and all that kind of stuff. And his one request was that I don't reveal where the golden duck actually is on stream.
I think that's fair.
So I will say that if you want to know where the golden duck is, then you will have to find someone to run this for you at a convention, or maybe order a copy yourself. But until then, it will remain a mystery.
But it's not the salt cellar.
Yeah.
If it's not the salt cellar, if you'd found it, that would have been fine. But I'm not going to reveal it, given that you didn't manage to solve the mystery. Thanks for doing this with me. This has been fun. This adventure is very open-ended for the GM to try and create the fun with. I did my best, but it's there's a lot of different things, and you just gotta kind of put them together in whatever seems to be amusing. So if you're watching, I hope that you've enjoyed this, and thank you for joining us tonight. This was a blast, and I will see you hopefully for the next one sometime soon. So for myself and Corey and Serge and Matt and Paul, this is Jeremy signing off. Nice.
Yay! Oh, that was tremendously fun. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ooh, that was super neat.
Okay, so sending me to the spirit realm to talk to Twitch chat. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's very clever.
Beautiful.
Especially
was
because
so-
the character we thought was dead was not dead.
I love the idea that the
So they had a
Yeah.
bunch of they had so many theories. They're like molting, Surge, molting, and I'm like, I don't know what that word means. And they're like, beetles shed their skins. Maybe she's a moth.
They
like,
were-
wow.
chat was like on that immediately. Like
On
as soon
molting,
as you
yeah.
found the shell. But
Oh.
I love the idea that the spirit realm is just like Twitch chat. Like it's just this whole like fire hose of people like coming up with different ideas. But there was everything from hey maybe she's not actually dead and it was molting to is there any water nearby? Ducks like water.
Oh my god.
Good theories. Good theories.
Good theory.
Yeah, that was the one I came up with that idea in a fit of like crazy inspiration at some point and was like, well, that has to happen. And then I was like, but I need some other magic items. So I actually designed a couple of other magic items, and then I designed too many, and I was like, what was that? Oh yeah, the edible that makes you read chat. So I ended up giving more magic items than I had originally planned to, just because I overdid that.
Oh yeah, there's other and then also I like that Serge is like, well, we did a good thing. Nobody died.
Yeah.
The timing on nobody died, and then we wake up and somebody is dead I was like, wait a second, hold on.
She woke up dead.
Counterintelligence spy games.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways that murders can happen in this adventure, and a lot of things that will provoke various people to murder.
Huh.
It's very Murder on the Orient Express style.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one attempted murder, in that the
Someone
good
tried to kill
doctor
Delita.
Yeah.
decided to kill Delita, and failed.
I got romanced again.
And got romanced again. There was it's a neat little sort of micro sandbox that is only intended for this kind of purpose, where it's like, hey, you're doing something else, but stop at the Golden Duck and have some fun, or don't, or just leave because everyone's too weird.
It's a bottle episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, want to, of course, once again, thank all the awesome Patreons. Patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. And also, of course, if you missed any of this session, or you want to rewatch it, you can watch it again right now on Twitch. In fact, I was actually thinking, if you didn't catch what was going on in the chat while Serge was
that's true.
in his catatonic state, then you can actually read that if you watch the Twitch replay now. Unfortunately, that won't be in the YouTube version. So
Yeah, there's just a bunch of me doing this.
Yeah.
There was one point, Serge, where you were like, ah, and like pointed at the screen. I was like, aha, he's got something.
The molting was very clever. There's another theory I didn't really go on, which was that the golden duck was inside of the innkeeper because she ate her husband, and maybe they passed it down that way. But I didn't. But as soon as we found out she wasn't dead, like the idea that it was in her and then somebody killed her and gutted her for the golden thing, but the molting made more sense. So
Yeah. I mean, it's another good theory, though.
Yeah.
It's
The Golden Duck was the friendship we made along the way.
actually my favorite theory was the double bluff of Jer sending Serge into the spirit realm to talk to chat, and then Jer watching chat and have whatever the chat came up with be actually what happened.
That would be actually a good idea, because that's something that is that's something that's really fun to do in mystery games in general. Is like you have your whole thing planned out as to like what is actually going on, and then the player characters come up with some like way better theory. And it's like, yeah, no, we'll just go with that because you
like,
guys
of
already bought
course.
into it, and
Of course.
and you're the detectives, so of course it's right.
We're here to have fun.
If we didn't smash the salt shaker, if somebody hadn't stolen it, I was gonna try and very stealthily steal it. So when he drove away, and I was like, "And check this out, I've got the golden duck," and I would hold up the salt shaker, and he'd be like, "Actually, Serge, it's just a salt shaker."
But you're
And I'm
good,
like,
Serge. That would have been straight up theft.
No one's
Delete
good
it
or
would've
evil
taken
in
it.
basic D&D. Everyone's just shades of neutral.